Ooh, this is a funner one, I feel like. It's about, you guys are married, so we're going to talk about the wedding. Do you remember your wedding? I hope so. It was not that long ago. Tell me about it. Did you have a honeymoon? What do you remember about it? You know, the details. How are you feeling? I guess would be another one that day.
Yeah, I was here in Texas working this job, and Jamie was back in San Diego with both of our families. And she was the one who was mostly the focal point for the wedding, being the bride, also being the one that was at the wedding location. Kind of was put in charge of calling a lot of the shots, much to her chagrin. She fought that tooth and nail, being the person who had to make final calls on everything. So what we did is we got a lot of people that were willing to pitch in to make this wedding happen, and we kind of just like, here you go. Here's 2 or 3 things that we really want to happen at our wedding. Make it happen, and it's on you and it's in your hands, and we just trust you to do the best that you can with it. And I think we had a very elegant wedding. Upwards of 100 people showed up. Jamie looked gorgeous. We had a she did.
Don't deny
it. We actually had some friends of ours who have known me since I was a child actually bought her dress. My parents funded most of the wedding. It only cost us about $3,000 to do our entire wedding.
A lot was donated by friends and family. It was a very blessed event.
There was a couple that my mom had befriended through several years who owned a restaurant, and her husband was a custom home builder, and they had just bought a house that had a lot of land. They catered and hosted our wedding for free.
Yes.
Because they wanted to get into the wedding business. So
we're their
I'm
first
talking about a lot of the technical aspects of it.
Yeah.
But ultimately it was a beautiful day with tons of friends and family, great heart, a lot of people around. I had a really touching moment with my best man and my one groomsman. It was just a great time. We got some really great pictures from some friends back home who are into the wedding photography sort of thing. And the food was great. The people were a whole lot of fun.
We had a breakfast bar. It was a brunch wedding.
Yeah.
So we had a breakfast bar, a waffle bar, and a lot of breakfast pastries.
Breakfast tacos.
Breakfast
is
tacos.
what we did. It was really good stuff.
So it was
Yeah,
a good
drank
time.
a lot, and then we went to Palm Springs, which is about a 2.5, 3-hour drive north and east of Los Angeles, and it's well known as a resort town that is kind of out in the middle of the desert. And her parents had a timeshare there. And
I'm just going to see how much time we're doing.
And,
we're doing great, guys.
she had a timeshare there, and we stayed for 2 nights. One night we went out to dinner. We had a bar up beforehand, got wasted.
Oh my gosh.
It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. We drank responsibly. We didn't drive.
We walked to and from our hotel and the
Yeah.
restaurant. We made sure they were close enough.
Had a big
We
old
had a good
steak.
time.
We probably spent like,
I
I want
don't
to say
even
we
want
spent
that.
like $250 on that night alone. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. We celebrated our love and our commitment to each other. It was great.
And we love visiting.
Okay.
Do you want to chip in anything?
No, honey.
Okay.
The wedding was beautiful.
I tried.
Okay. Let's see. Looking back over the years, what moments stand out as just like really good times? Like, this is great. Like, what does a good time look like for the Barnharts as a couple?
Well, one of my love languages is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the things that I remember with Jamie are times where we were like spending time together having fun. So just because it's fresh in my mind, our honeymoon night was a lot of fun, going out for drinks and having dinner together. Another time was when I was living in LA and we were dating, and it was right before I moved back to San Diego. We went down to the Disney ice cream parlor that's on Hollywood Boulevard, and we shared an ice cream together.
And I love ice cream.
She is an ice cream fanatic. Other times that, just come back to me, or when she came and visited the very first time, and I got to show her around Denton a little bit and take her down to Beth Marie's to get her, of course,
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
because I know she loves it, and she kind of like fell in love with the place. And there's a
Ice
couple
cream.
times where she was like, "Oh my gosh, I could really live here." And then when we drove across country from San Diego to Denton, it was a great time together right after we were married. That was a great
It was 20 hours
test of us.
What a litmus
Yes.
test.
Yeah,
Yes.
we ran into some stressful moments. Hate you, Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Hate you. But
Mexico sucks.
yeah, when we pulled up to the house, probably the second day, and she heard the oh geez, I forget the name of them. The bugs that are in the trees during the summer that have that
cicadas.
rat. Cicadas, yes.
Oh.
She heard those and was sitting in the car and was like, "Oh, this is my home," and it just
Yeah.
kind of like hit her, and to realize that
I
her
cried.
home is here with me, and yeah, really just
Cicadas have never done that. I'm always like, ugh.
she gets a little bit clipped whenever she hears cicadas. But yeah,
Just
those
'cause
moments.
you're not in San Diego, so
Yeah.
it's like that Texas moment.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a Texas thing that we get to share together and experience, and those are the things that really stick out to me.
I think my moment was setting up our home together. We moved from the 3rd floor apartment down to the 2nd floor like 3 months after we were married.
Mhm.
And this became our home and less of Josh's bachelor pad of me intertwining my life with it.
Hmm.
And so I think that was probably, when I go, I don't know what to do with her. That was probably one of my favorite, and it took us, a while. Opening all of our gifts was a lot of fun too. I mean, just because
They all got delivered here.
child.
I had to carry all of them from the
And
mail
not
center up
open
to
them.
the 3rd floor, and I couldn't open them.
Because I
And
wanted to
so-
open them together.
When she got here, we opened them together, and that was definitely worth waiting for.
That was a lot of fun. We had
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, I think, and just being here, I'm away from my family, but that means I've had to rely a lot on Josh to become a lot of my family, and a lot of the kids here in the dorm to become my family. And I think out of a moment of being married, that's been really nice, is me becoming my own person, but my own person with him. So.
These are great sound bites. Like, they're just so cute. Okay, let's move on to something different. Oh my goodness. That is a long one. Alright.
I know.
Sparta.
Well, we have taken the next step in family and commitment, and we have adopted a dog together, Sparta. You can hear her barking in the background.
We're gonna let her out just
Yeah.
so she feels connected to her family.
Yeah, so she feels a little more included and not isolated.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna break it down now more into like kind of relationships in the abstract and kind of what you guys think make relationships work. Kind of like how do you compare your relationship to maybe your parents' relationship? Kind of what are those role models for you? It's a hefty one, so if you want some time to ruminate on that, that's.
I think both of our parents do really good at balancing each other out. They're not polar opposites, but they are definitely on opposite ends of the spectrum. My dad tends to be very calm, cool, and collected, very even-keeled. Not that my mom flies off the handle, but she is definitely more of the passionate one. When something gets up, she will very typically fight for somebody and kind of get in that way, where my dad is more of like, hey, let's really think about the entire situation and how we could avoid doing this in the future and how we can figure our way out of it, instead of being the fly off the handle, kind of like gung-ho, let's go for it type of people.
And mine are the complete opposite. My mom is the calm, cool, and collected one that thinks things out, and my dad is a little bit more stubborn and aggressive. And in our relationship, I am much the stubborn and aggressive one, and he is the let's take a step back and look at this and think things out. And I think he's brought my drama threshold down quite severely in our 9 months of marriage.
Which is ironic because you now live in a place with teenagers
Yeah.
where there's drama literally every day.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think the thing that makes relationships work are people that get outside themselves and think more of the other person that they're in the relationship with than they do themselves. If you're looking out for number one, it's not going to work out the way you would like it to. If you're looking out for your mate in the situation, I think that they are going to in turn look out for you and have your best interests at heart. And even though it may not look like it initially, like that's the best way to do it, it really ends up being everything that I do is cut in half because Jamie is here to do it. And everything that she has to do is cut in half because I'm here to help her do that. I think what people look for are the instant attractions. The eye is very pleased with what it sees, but it's not necessarily what is going to benefit you the most. I happen to have lucked out and gotten both of those things. Just saying.
Cute. Thank you.
He knows what he's doing.
Take
They
notes.
are married. He is 1 for 1. I want to promote him. This is it.